He's managed to get himself on the inside, but he's caught up on the curve. Sean Allen, the outside special. We've had a huge crash. This can't be real. I think he might have the strong done finally. Even Warren gives him no space. He's in the wall. He's in the wall. Turn 480. He's taken out Bruce Singh as well. Oh, big moment there. Kurt Stenberg on his roof. Big crash at turn 4. That is an unfortunate huge crash. Oh, the huge wiggle on thought he was clear. Oh, he moved a little bit high. He's stuck in the curve. The late move, final corner. That's the death.
Hello and welcome to round 10 of the Automobilista Supercars Super 2 Championship. We are here on the streets of Townsville for the first time, and joining me as always is my good mate Colin Warwick. How are you, mate?
Excited, mate. Excited for tonight. As you can see, the top 4 is the usual top 4 that we see out in front, nice and close, so it should be a good night of racing. Haven't seen them race the street circuit for a while, so interesting to see how they go.
That's exactly right, mate. This is only out of our 10 rounds, this is only our second venture to a street circuit, and one of only, the second of only 3 we're actually going to make. The second one being here again, so yeah, not many street circuits on this calendar, so it'll be interesting. It's been a long time since Adelaide. It feels like a universe away, so it will be interesting to see how they all go.
Yeah, I'm very excited for tonight. I think Townsville produces always good racing. Plenty of track where you can, plenty of walls where you can hit. So interesting to see if whoever keeps off the wall, stays clean, drives good consistent lap time, should probably come away with a win tonight. If not, a good result.
I'd agree with that, mate. It's a track that's going to reward not crashing and putting your best foot forward. And I mean, these top 3, it's going to be interesting to see which one of them comes out on top 4 rather. But we do have a number of newcomers tonight. It's a fucking very good field. Oops, I apologise for that, but it's a very exciting field. There's a lot of good drivers in this field. And I'm pretty excited to see how this is going to go.
You can excuse the language, as you know, the past few weeks we've been umming and ahhing whether we should join the 2 series together because we've been low on numbers, but everyone sort of come out of the woodworks and said, yep, let's have a go again, and yeah, it's made both championships very tight. And I mean, looking at last round with Super 2 and Main, it was both fields were very strong, so it's looking good again here tonight. We've got 16 cars on track, a couple of newcomers. We've got Mad Rabbit, Sid Goose, some funny names. We've got Hans Brunswick, I believe that's how you say his name.
Commentator
from
for
AMF Oz.
Yep.
So it'd be good to see how he goes. He's already up into 5th, so a 12.6 is a very respectable time because Ben and the likes with RSM, Latino, Burko and Warwick, they're pretty much almost main game pace, so to be doing 12.6s around here is pretty good.
Yeah, it's a pretty respectable time. I haven't seen much of Hans actually race in the past. I know him from his commentator duties, and I know he's a V8 supercar expert and maniac, so full time. I haven't seen much of Hans actually race in the past. I know him from his commentator duties, and I know he's a V8 supercar expert and maniac, so
just like us.
Yeah, just like us. So it's good to see him actually out on the track, and he's having a go, and he looks like he's going to be pretty competitive tonight. And can I have a look as well? You didn't mention Lachlan Burke, who's also a newcomer.
Oh yes.
So he's a new one that's signed up. It's finally getting out there tonight. And yeah, Mad Rabbit, and as Lou Brazelis just said, it's the debut tonight of the All Australian Racers Development Team. So I believe that's Dane Licciardo, and I'm not sure who the other driver is. Liam Budd. Okay, I thought that may be the one. So those two are making their debut for their new team tonight.
Yeah.
So, and those guys will probably be joining us tomorrow night as well, based on how they go tonight. So, it's pretty cool to have. We've got some new liveries as well. I'm just seeing Sid Goose has got his livery in game on the Red Falcon.
Actually, all three of those Misfits Racing guys have got Hog's Breath cars, which is cool. They're all variations, different colours and stuff.
We've got Steady, who's changed back to the Hell V8 power Commodore.
Well, my autism kicks in when I see that. That just makes me sick. But we'll
I think that's
continue
kind of
on.
the idea. I think that's kind of the idea of it. I think that's what he's going for with that livery. So
well, we both know. Well, you know Peter very well, being your father.
I mean, I hope I would.
And we know he can be a pretty funny character at times. So
he can be. I mean, both of his cars leave not much to the imagination of what he
no,
thinks.
I think the one he's got on now is probably a little bit better than the other cars.
Yeah, I mean, the other one shows what he thinks of everyone else that he races against.
Yeah.
And
he's certainly done that to.
Got to give him a bit of credit, but because he's been performing quite well in recent rounds.
He has earned himself a spot at Darwin in the main game, which was good.
Did, and he held his own. So that's what we like to see, is guys improving.
Now, unfortunately for all the viewers out there, we did try and get a medical car into the server, but we had some troubles because we were actually going to get Thomas McMillan in the medical car at the back of the field when they race. That would have been quite funny. So it's a shame that didn't happen, but next round we'll try and get it in and see how it goes. But yeah, I'll also be out there in a course car.
It's only fitting to have the guy that's been in the medical car more times since the championship started as the driver of the medical car. So that's what we thought.
To make it even more fitting, Thomas has actually been in the Mount Panorama Medical Centre, which makes it even funnier. So
it does, and he'll be behind the wheel of it at the Super 2 Bathurst round as well.
Speaking of Thomas, he'll actually probably tune in tonight. Will actually join us at some point because he is pit reporting, I believe.
He should be pit reporting. As cars are now going out for qualifying, I'm going to see who's first out on track. It is actually Hans Brunswick who's the first car that's entered the circuit. So
yeah, I'm excited for this session. A lot of commitment around here to find a lot of time. So if you can be committed and rub against the walls and clip the mirrors, you should get a decent time.
You really should. It separates the men from the boys, these tracks, in my opinion, and I'm a big fan of street circuits, especially this one.
Yeah, me too.
Is my favourite track. Which a lot of people are very aware of because I mention it all the time.
Townsville is a very, very good street circuit. I mean, my favourite's probably Adelaide, but yeah, Townsville's up there as well. I mean, Newcastle as well, obviously. That's a good street circuit.
With all this COVID stuff going on, it's cool to even see racing on a street circuit, so...
Yeah, exactly. Actually, from the weekend's broadcast of real V8s, this part of the track, where there was no grandstands and stuff, I actually thought it looked better.
So did I, actually. Yeah, it was more open and it better on TV. It was weird, but...
Yeah, it was different.
Starting his lap, I'm gonna go on board. I'm not with that camera. That was terrible. Whatever the frick I just did there. Oh my god, Denny.
No, we've got plenty of GoPros on this car.
We've had 400 GoPro shots, but he comes through turn 1 and to the. Actually, you want to brake pretty hard here. I take this corner in second gear, I'm pretty sure. And the ball out on the apex is missing as per usual. Hard on the throttle out of here, going up the gears. Go through here in third. I want to just touch that curb, stay middle of the road, and come back here. Otherwise, pretty clean through there. Pretty clean lap so far. And he takes that in second, I think, and Torch in third. Tricky little bump there on that little corner, and then you come down and you're hard on the brakes into this corner. It's a tricky circuit, especially with these 5 right-handers in a row, and he's got...
Oh, this will be close.
traffic as well of Sid Goose.
Might get some tow here. Drive.
It may have been messed up as well into the last corner. We'll see what he does. Come across for a 13.5, so we'll see what our other runners
Second
do.
off.
Wrap to the top now. RSM Latino, Dahlia to the top.
12.4.
Burko goes to the top now.
Burko to the top.
12.3, so coming thick and fast. I'm expecting the pole time to be an 11 around here from these guys.
Probably a mid 11 will probably get your pole.
Yeah, which is actually really fast compared to times the main guys are setting. These guys are super quick now, and we see Burko's up by 3/10, but he's just had a massive moment, so...
Yeah, it's easy to lock the rears into there. I found, I don't know whether it's the track surface or something, but even with brake bias up in the high 60s, you can still lock the rears into there, which is very interesting. Probably just the nature of the track.
It's an interesting corner. Interesting circuit. I'm finding it. Around this circuit you struggle a lot for brakes and brake temperature. You get a lot of brake temperature around here and it doesn't sort of dissipate, so makes it a bit tricky as the race goes on.
You've got to run the brake ducts really high. Because if you don't, the brake fade is unbelievable.
It is pretty unbelievable even with the brake ducts turned up to the high setting, so it's
oh, we actually missed Hans go to P2 there.
Hans did go to P2. That's a pretty impressive time from him. 12.4. I reckon he's going to be bit of a one to watch tonight. He's up actually on his personal best and the best sector so far, so I'm going to watch him here.
So he's got the fastest first sector so far as well.
He's up still.
Still up.
It's impressive to see someone jump in and go against these guys, because
it's very cool.
The main game guys in this, the Super 2 guys in this series are basically mid-pack main game guys now, honestly, like with the way in which they've stepped up over the course of the season, so...
Yeah, it's very cool, very impressive. As I'm just watching the live timing, Burko will improve on this lap.
It's gone purple, but Hans has gone to the top with a 12 flat, which is a pretty respectable number. We will go back to Burko now, because I reckon that Burko is probably going to knock this number.
Be an 11.
And he doesn't. He's made a mill of the final sector, so...
He has.
Hans Brunswick has pole position, but we see Benjamin Dahlia on an outlap, and we'll keep an eye on the sectors.
Well, luckily for these guys, we don't run the tyre rule like we do in Maine, so these guys can literally drive back to the pits and get fresh tyres as Burko's up again to the first sector.
He's made a big error, but he's in the pool, and it's a difficult corner because you can go in there too deep, and it kind of, you get a good first sector, but it kind of, you ruin the second sector exit. So it's, that sector sometimes isn't always the biggest telling point of how good a lap time is, especially when you go in there hard like that and smack into the wall. I've noticed that Hans is still pushing on with it. I'm going to see what number he pulls out here.
Yeah, he might actually improve here. He does.
11.9, so he's improved his own number.
Faster each session, which is very cool.
It is very cool. He continues, and RSM Latino's just gone to second now with a 12.3. I am going to watch Dahlia here because he's about to start a lap, and I reckon that he could put a number down that's good enough for pole. I reckon he's got it in him.
Yeah. We topped the last session with 11.5, so...
Still though, I expect Burko and Latino to improve, but I reckon Hans could be on, like, he's a pretty good chance of a front row start here. Even pole in general with the first sector we've just seen from Dahlia, which has only beaten it by 1,000th of a second from...
And not only that, he actually went way too deep into that corner, and you'll probably find he might be down to this middle sector.
No, he's up. Just up slightly. So this is still going to be close, but he's going to need a good final sector.
Looks like the car's not behaving over the tram tracks there, so it sounded like he actually got off the throttle.
Yeah, definitely go flat over there if you hit the right line and you've got decent setup under you. So it's interesting. Oh, and he's hit that last corner curb, and that's going to cost him time.
Yeah, you can't do that.
So we'll see what number he brings out.
Still
Got enough
pole.
to pole with an 11.6, but that wasn't the best lap time that I've seen, or best lap I've seen from Benjamin. So obviously he's got a fair bit more in it. And it was actually purple to the last sector, even with that. So
Yeah, wow. You might even see a low 11 here.
and he's up on his first sector, and he hasn't overshot it this time.
Yeah,
So-
so that's a better exit. Guarantee you'll be watching the Delta bar here and it'll be lots of green. If he doesn't stuff it up here, it looks clean. Oh, that's wide. Oh, he might have got a track cut for that. No.
Mic off.
Yeah, that's too wide through there.
Mic on.
It's funny though, you bring everyone to a street circuit and the gaps certainly open up a bit.
I would
I
agree
mean, you
with
look
that.
at guys like Lachlan Horan, who was sort of near the front at Darwin, and here he's almost 3.5 seconds away. So.
Even my old man Stenny and others.
Yeah.
Definitely the gaps open up when it comes to a street circuit. It is interesting that is the case. Yeah, I'm just going to go around the grounds. RSM Latino's not really not on a good lap at the minute. We'll see what's happening with Burko.
Just the track where
He's
you
on
got to
an
tighten the
outlet.
belts and hold on, mate.
It really is. A lot of people are a bit fearful of walls and curves, and street circuits come a lot down to braking as well. And it really takes the art, especially in qualifying, of being able to maximise the car and not caring too much about putting a thing in the wall.
I've been trying to do a bit of coaching to see my old man on screen. With my old man, he over-rotates the wheel a lot. You can see it when he turns corners. Well, not there. But trying to teach him that where you've got the steering wheel turn, if you over-rotate, you're just going to understeer.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You just understeer with the front tyres, which is just going to increase tyre wear, and it's going to slow your lap times down. You've really got to be careful with your wheel inputs, especially in a game like this. It's not like an arcade game where it rewards that kind of
Yeah,
kind of thing.
exactly. What's funny you say that about tyre wear. At Darwin, oh, that's a good first sector.
That's a good first sector from Parents Brunswick. Yeah, I reckon he's a good shot here of improving again.
So do I. But yeah, as I was saying, at Darwin, he couldn't get the softs to last more than 10 laps, and I reckon it was because of his driving style. So
yeah, and that's
just
potentially
straight on.
could be why. Yeah, he's messed that one up. So we'll flick to Benjamin.
Copy. Yeah. See Benjamin here. Doesn't improve. He actually probably looks like he got a cut track in the last lap. So pressing on, starting another lap. See anyone else improving yet? Hear an accident in the background. That's a good first sector by Ben, 21.2. Fastest we've seen so far. Just ride the curb here. Oh, that was beautiful. What's the second sector look like? Yeah, up 2/10. It's a good lap here. Get the car square across the tram tracks here. Yep, beautiful. This will be an improvement here. Turns it in. Don't want to get too oversteery here. Brake hard. Don't touch that curb. Yeah, here we go. This will be a good lap. Yeah, wow. Didn't get the lap in. That's very strange. It's actually disappeared. Not sure what's going on here.
We apologise, we've just had a small issue with connection to the server, it appears, so we'll have live pictures again in a second.
Try and get some live timing. Yeah, Ben did improve on that lap. He did an 11.4. Burko did an 11.7.
Mic on. 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 Mic on.
And we are back with live pictures. I do apologise for the inconveniences. We've had some slight technical dramas go on, but that's alright. We're back and we're ready, and we've had that qualifying session be completed.
Yeah, Ben on pole. Burko in the front row. It's pretty close. 2.224. That's very close.
It is very close,
And
so I reckon it's going to be another
impressive.
Burko Dahlia battle, but Hans Brunswick to go third on his debut is...
Only 0.4 away. Like, and Ben's at the top of his game in Super 2, so that's very impressive.
It's very impressive. He's out-qualified championship leader RSM Latino, who's only managed 4th. So... As I'm reading in the broadcast chat about my mic headset making mic settings sounds, yes, I'm aware of this, and I need to rectify that. Thanks, Luke. So we've got a little warm-up session now before we go racing. It is a very good job, as Luke just raised in the chat, of Dane Licciardo. P6, that's pretty solid. Out-qualified Brap in 7th, who was very strong here last year from my recollection. So, I remember him fighting for a podium here last year. And, yeah, so some strong performances up and down the field. There's a few guys taking the opportunity to do some warm-up.
Yeah, this should be pretty good.
It's going to be an exciting race tonight. I'm excited. Turn 1's always an interesting place in this series and at this track, so will be interesting to see how they all go into the first 2 corners around here.
16 cars into turn 2. I'm guessing there might be a bit of drama.
I am too for the first time that we do it, but we will see how they approach it. Street circuits and inexperienced drivers tend to produce crashes. We've had a lot of incidents in this series. Last week was pretty clean and uneventful outside of some good racing, so we're hoping that can continue, but after seeing a car roll at SMP, I can't rule out anything in this series.
Yeah, I agree. You think of a track where there probably wouldn't be an incident like that. You'd expect it somewhere here, but...
Yeah, it's not a track where I'd really go, I think I can see a car rolling on the main straight there. I could see a car rolling on the main straight here, so
yes.
This is where my concern is. As Steve Warwick has stopped the session so far, but not that it really matters for much.
Yeah, just a bit of warm-up before the race. These sessions are important if you're not confident in the car, to maybe do a quick change and see how the car reacts, and then just go back to what it was.
Definitely as well.
That's
and
why I don't mind these warm-up sessions.
If you're running a bit of a quali dock as well, just to get used to your race setup, put a bit of fuel in it as well, and also practice your starts, run through a bit of a procedure.
Sometimes you put the fuel in a quali dock and it turns into a good race car, so you could test that and then possibly go, okay, it doesn't feel better, go to my race setup. So
yeah, it's extra time to
got what,
change
20 seconds left for the session.
I mainly use it for my main use of a warm-up session is to practice starts and go through the procedure, and also make sure the driver is in peak physical condition for the race.
Yeah, well, that's always helpful. That is a nice looking car.
It's a nice looking car.
Whoever painted that done a fantastic job.
They did. It's good to see Warwick Racing represented in the Super 2 series, a new team. It's obviously exclusive to this series.
Yes.
I don't know who the team manager is, but
me. And I did paint that car, so
did you?
yeah. As I paint most of these cars, so.
That would make a lot of sense.
Yep.
So
now I am on the team manager role for that, so whenever there's an incident, I sort of just sit here and shake my head.
Or just exclaim, "That's stupid," as you did last week.
Yeah, as I have probably most of the season when I see him do something like that.
That's all right. I've seen my father deliberately wreck someone on one of these streams, so it's not the easiest thing to deal with. But
that's Thomas McMillan's responsibility. So he sort of manages.
Yeah. I as manager of Pleb Sim Sport, I get Thomas McMillan to manage the Super 2 team, so he's in charge of managing Stenny.
I wonder who will lead them into turn 2. Because, well, I don't know if you can call turn 1, hey.
It is a corner, but then again, there's this argument that I know they were having on the main game stream of if you can't go through it flat out without a rear wing, is it a corner? And I don't know whether without a rear wing you wouldn't be able to go through turn 1 flat or not. So I'm not sure if that you'd be able to. So maybe it's a corner, maybe it's not. As we've just seen, Mad Rabbit has been disqualified, so I'm not 100% sure what he's done incorrectly, but...
I'd say he's probably missed the start and then driven out onto the circuit.
That is a potential thing that he could have done, and not realised he needs to start at the lights. So I'm going to go through the field now. It's Benjamin Dahlia on pole position from Steve Burko. Hans Brunswick in an impressive third in his first race in the series. With why has that happened? Championship leader is aggressively warming his tyres, his hands. RSM Latino in 4th, championship leader, with Steve Warwick in 5th. Dane Licciardo an impressive 6th, with Brap in 7th. Matt Cecil in 8th. Liam Budd in 9th. Sid Goose in 10th, he has missed the start as well, it appears. Lachlan Duran in 11th. Stenny in 12th. McLean Bite in 13th. Dodger in 14th. And Mad Rabbit has already been disqualified from the race. That's disappointing for those guys who have missed the start.
It is, but hopefully they stick around for the next one.
Hopefully so. It'd be good to see them out on track. Unfortunately, it's all about knowing the procedures of how much the game is and whatnot. And it's a bit difficult at the start, but got to make mistakes to learn how it all works.
Yep, I'm a big believer in that. The lights are on.
Green flag.
We're away.
We're away. That's a good start by RSM Latino off the second row and Hands. So the two front runners have got a bad start.
Oh, they've bumped.
They've bumped, and it's actually going to be Latino that's going to lead into turn 1 at the looks of it here.
Oh,
There's a bit of incidents in the background. And Benjamin's broken pretty late, so it's covered. And what's happened to Hands? He's dropped back heaps. He was right up there, so I'm not quite sure what's happened there through there. As we head into turn 3 for the first time, so a bit confused there, but Hands was right in front with the front runners, so they broke pretty early into turn 2 rather.
And it looks like Sid Goose has made the start, so...
He has made the start, he's made it out onto the circuit with no dramas from pit lane start. So we see Steve Burke putting pressure on RSM Latino. It'll be interesting to see how this goes. In the background, Hands having a pass of Brap, so he's trying to make his way back through this field. Keep looking at the front runners here.
Good start by Licciardo as well. Up to 4th, up 2 spots.
Yeah, very good start by him. It was a bit of a strange start. They say that second row got good starts, but a lot of things happening. We've got Steve Warwick, he's having a look at Dane actually in the background, I'm sure.
Yes.
He hasn't managed to get that job done. Still Benjamin, who's now got the lead. It would be interesting to see if these two can go with him or what happens.
Oh, Latinos.
I feel like Latino's got a good start, but he's struggling a fair bit at the minute here. He's under a lot of pressure from Burko, and I feel like Burko's got the race pace to be able to challenge.
Oh.
So you see wall scraping in the background, that was Dane Licciardo.
Burko's down there.
The run, and so does Warwick, so we're going to watch both of them.
Oh, that's late.
Moved on, and he's gone off, so that's... Warwick's actually gone off there, so that's happened, but Burko's got the move done here in this one, but he's going to get... he's
very
getting
wide.
passed by Latino back because he's missed the break there, but Burko's now got the correct line that he can through here.
Yeah.
And Burko's got the job done, but Latino's still the switchback. He's down the inside. As in the background, we've got Hans Brunswick who's up the inside of and they've made contact.
This is fantastic racing. Very aggressive.
Very aggressive, but good racing from these guys. Oh, he's pushed him out to the wall. Very aggressive there from Latino. Didn't give much space, and he's managed to hold on to that spot from Burko. But all this is letting Benjamin streak away in the lead, and also letting Brunswick catch up in the background. He's managed to get himself back up onto the into fourth place, and he's now catching these guys at a great rate of knots as they continue to battle.
They want to be careful here because Latino's leading the championship, but only 54 points over Burko and only 55 over Ben. So I want to think about not rubbing too much, causing each other to have a massive accident because they could lose a lot of points.
As we know, you can't afford a DNF in this series, so finishing is paramount.
It's in the 13s on that lap.
Here comes Burko down the inside again, but he's not far enough down there to get the move done, so...
Yeah, Cuz has been very good under brakes.
Cuz has been very good under brakes compared to Burko, I must say. It's definitely see that's a strength of his car, and it's helping him stay in front. Oh, Burko's hit the wall by himself out there, so... That's given Latino a bit of a breathing space, and...
If I was Burko, I'd cool the jets a little bit, sit back, and just focus on what you got to do to get past where he's vulnerable.
He's got the car speed now, but I don't see him being able to catch Ben, so he's really just got to focus on trying to get this P2 now.
Yeah, exactly. I think his best bet is probably into here.
So
or in turn 2.
It seems like we're stronger, but the problem is that Latino can hang on the outside and back on the inside into the last corner.
This is why we like this racetrack.
We do like this racetrack. It's a lot of switchbacks on each other. As Dahlia does the fastest lap of the race, and
12-2.
Burko's got a run, but sort of on the wrong side of the road down here. But you can pass on the outside at this corner. It's one of the weird corners where you can pass on the outside of it. You get a better exit generally, or you can go from the outside and get crisscross.
Oh, that car is so tailored.
It is so tailored. He's tried to get the over under there, and he's gassed it up, and it's not liked it. So.
I'd say his rears are probably a little bit overheated from the first moment he had where he clipped the wall.
So would I. It's pushing very hard. It's a bit. We haven't really caught much of the action of the rest of the field yet.
Someone who is gaining on these two is Hans. Like he is pulling them in at a rapid rate of knots.
He is pulling them in a rapid rate of knots, and I expect them to get to him. I expect Hans to get to these people, to get to these guys within the next 2 laps. And it's going to be a 3-car battle, so they've really got to... Burko's really got to watch his aggression and how hard he's pushing to get past Latino, because he could cost both of them the spot.
You see Liam Butt up in 6th place now.
That's been a good start from him. He started in P9. I'm going to go back and have a watch. So there's Warwick, Bud, and Moran's dropped back. Has he? Yeah, he's dropped back a few spots, and so is Licciardo. So Licciardo. See Bud having a look at. Warwick, and he's had to get out of that to avoid contact. So very late on the brakes there, but we're going to just go a bit of a stock take of the field and we'll have a look and we'll see that Dane Licciardo's in 7th. He's down 1 spot from his starting position. Matt Cecil and Brapper having their race here for 8th and 9th. Brapp's lost 2 spots from his starting position. And Matt Cecil's actually gone in the wall by himself here. And
that's a
that's a retirement. And that's Brapp on his roof.
Oh!
I'm going to get a replay of that. That was a very, very, very strange incident.
Well,
so this was a really strange incident. So we've seen Matt has sort of lost it. He got a puncher. And at the same time, Brapp has had a rollover by himself.
taking too much of the inside curve and it's just flicked him up.
So, yeah, that's what's happened, and he hasn't made much of an effort to catch it, so it's a very strange accident. So we're going to go back to live, and Lachlan Horan was seen in a battle with a claim bike. The rest of our field, let's promote these guys up 1 spot. Brapp's managed to keep going back on his wheels, and Sid Goose and Dodger are both off the lead lap now, so saw that last lap that RSM Latino did do the fastest lap of the race, so maybe, and they have pulled a gap on hands now as well, so maybe they're starting to find their rhythm. To say the closest battle on track was the Haran claim bike battle, but it actually seems to be this one between Burko and Latino once again. Starley has now responded with the fastest lap. See if either of these two are able to match, and that would be a no at this stage. It's a 12-4 for
Burko.
Again. Miss Latinos at the last lap time. I will see. Whoa. That's it. It's very taily, that car.
Mate, I would be on the radio to the engineer saying this thing needs the nearest bin.
Definitely does need the nearest bin. It looks like it's becoming more and
not
more
a, not a
as the
one.
race goes on, and he's going to have a spin by himself here. So big snap over to spin and hands! Oh! We don't like to see that. I'm going to get a replay, like, see if I can actually get an onboard from hands, if I actually knew what camera button did. So we're going to watch this from hands. Burko's just gone around and, not a lot he can do at that speed. It's really, Burko's right in the middle of the road, so disappointing incident. Hopefully it hasn't caused too much damage to these two, but it's really put Burko on the back foot now, and it's really let Latino off the hook here.
Well, did say put it in the bin.
He tried to put it in the bin. Not successfully, but he's tried to put that car in the bin.
He tried to put that in the tip.
He tried to put that back in pit lane and back on the transporter.
In landfill, that's where that needed to go.
So I'm going to go back in the field now, and I'm going to watch the Haran claim bike battle, because I've noticed that these guys are close to the track, and we've been watching the front of the field a fair bit here in this race. So looking Haran a fair bit further down the quarter than where he was at the last round at Darwin. So
yeah.
Not a strong track for him, it seems, this one. A claim bike putting in a reasonable performance up in 9th position.
He's up 4 spots, so...
He's up 4 spots.
I mean, probably 2 of those were gifted, but nevertheless, he is up 4 spots.
He's up 4 spots. Well, we've had the, as I say, Brap have a rollover, and we've had the retirement of Matt Cecil, and unfortunately a couple other guys have some incidents. Not really evolving in here, they're sort of keeping pretty stagnant, these guys, so
yeah,
just waiting to see what goes on. I'm going to go back up the field. Very much a lot of clear space now in these, as you get further towards the front of the field. It's really
Bit of a
these
dent.
guys are the next closest cars is the Brunswick, it's the Burko, and they're both a bit wounded after that incident.
A couple of chops out of the front of that Falcon there.
Definitely are a couple of chops out of that Falcon there. I've noticed that Liam Budd is actually catching Steve Warwick lap time wise, so that's one to keep an eye on. And Brapp is also closing in on the back of Moran and Playboy. That battle we was watching.
Yeah, it's all about surviving here.
It's all about surviving here, and we've seen that. We've seen some number of guys get themselves in drama that really probably didn't need to be involved in by themselves. So it's just the nature of this place. You make a mistake and it can go wrong pretty easily. It's pretty stagnant at the front. It was a 12-1 last time for. No, 12-7 last time for Dahlia and a 13 flat for Latino, so that battle is remaining pretty stagnant.
Yeah, Ben as always, solid at the front.
Yeah, well, we'll go and we'll watch him. Putting in impressive performances. He had a bit of a lull in the first Darwin round, but he's definitely bounced back since then.
12-8 last lap.
It's 12-8 last lap, and it was a 13-1 for Latino, so that gap continues to ever stretch out around this circuit.
All the battling that Latino did, he probably lost out a little bit here.
Probably did. He actually probably has the race pace to go with Dahlia, so it will be interesting to see what happens in the next one if he starts off the front row. His qualifying wasn't great either, but he had a really good start, so that really got him up the order. So just seen in the broadcast chat that Matt has always said poor performance due to lack of time is really starting to frustrate me. Game crashed too, so that explains why he did not finish when he hit the wall. So obviously he had a game crash as well.
Yeah, it's important to get in and do some laps and get used to everything.
We've got a yellow flag at the last corner. It's actually Sid Goose who's watch him here. Oh, it's not a very good rejoin, and he's almost killed
that's terrible.
RSM Latino. So we'll quickly get a replay of that. So he's lost it by himself. It's a pretty easy thing to do, but he's waited for the leader to come. And he's backed it onto the racing line, and Cuz has done a very good job to avoid that, so slightly disappointing. So I've noticed that Stenny's dropped back a few spots as well. He was up in 7th before, so he's lost a couple of spots, and he's had a clean bike go past him. And so Haran has also lost a few spots, and he's in the pit lane. That did not finish. There's a did not finish for Lachlan Haran as well, and Sid Goose is in the wall again. So not been a good night for him.
No, not at all.
Looking further towards the front of the field. Only got 3 laps to go here. It really is stagnated up the front. I'm going to go back and watch the battle for 9th and 10th between Brapp and Stenny, because this is the closest battle on track. Is Brapp trying to regain after his rollover earlier in the race? See how he approaches this.
Hopefully not with another roller.
Hopefully not with another rollover.
We'll have a look here.
Oh, it's a difficult spot to have a look through there. He has caused Stenny to go late on the brakes and make an error, so Stenny's probably going to have a look down. He's probably going to have a look at Stenny down here in this corner. Yeah. Stenny's been pretty defensive of the position. Oh, he's been very defensive of the position. He's probably turned in on him there, and it's been a bit unfair. Oh, and he's given him not much room there, so he's not going to make this easy for Brad.
You showed him the grass.
He has definitely fed him the lawn there. So, aggressive driving from Stenny. We'll see if, I'd say with the pace difference, perhaps he's going to get this one done. But, it's just all about
He's given
setting
a bit
up
of
the move.
turned his Commodore into
and
lawn
Brab's-
feed. Oh,
and
he's
Brab's
pressed him.
around. Brab's hit the curb, lost it on throttle, and he's around. And that's going to be, he's not going to get that position now. So, it's very unfortunate. And he's going to win that battle. I'd say Liam Budd's had an impressive quiet drive in this race. Up 3
Liam
spots.
and Dane, the two teammates, 6 and 7.
That's a good outing for them in their first run as All Australian Racing, the All Australian Racers Development Team drivers. I'll finally spit that one out. And it's quiet at the station at the minute.
It is, with 1 lap to go.
So I suppose we'll go forward and watch our race leader, because he has done I'm actually going to watch the Tino here and see how he indicates this lap car. But it's been an impressive performance from Benjamin. Once again, it's what we've come to expect from him. Out in front, once he gets out in front, he doesn't normally get challenged. It's when he's in the pack that he sort of, his difficulties sort of arise.
Yeah, he's been dominant from lights to flag, really. Almost, well, it is a 6-second gap to Latino, so it's very impressive.
He's pulled the gap in the last few laps as well. It's only 4 seconds and a handful of laps ago, so he's pulled around another 3 seconds on Latino just to put the dot at the end of the sentence of this race.
Say, hey, I've done 16 laps, but I've still got pace to pull away, so.
I deserve to be the winner here today. And he comes into the final corner, and I don't even know how many races he's won this year, but it's Benjamin Dahlia, P3 on the championship and on a charge. He wins here in Townsville in our first attempt at Townsville. And it's going to be Arison Latino home in second. Strong performance from him for his championship. Burko, after that incident, is going to pull third with Hans Brunswick in fourth. Steve Warwick brings home a fifth, so that's going to be a better performance for him based on his recent rounds. And Liam Budd is going to bring home the All Australian Racers Development Team.
That's a good effort there, up 3 spots.
With his teammate Dane Licciardo in 7th.
Or maybe not.
Maybe not. Don't want to call it too early. Does have a fair bit of a buffer. He seems pretty happy with that 7th result, it seems, surprisingly. The claim bite is in 8th, with Stenny in 9th. So no, top 10 for Stenny. He'll be happy with that. Brett brings it home in 11th, with Dodger in 12th a lap down. Dodger in 11th a lap down. Sid goes in 12th, 2 laps down, and Lachlan Horan, Matt Cecil, and Mad Rabbit be our DNFs. We did lose a runner somewhere in between as well, so interesting race. See what happens when we head back out there in a few seconds. So in between races we're going to take a bit of a short break, and we'll be back with live images and pictures very shortly for the second qualifying session. Thanks. So we're a bit live here with whatever series it is. We've just seen Dane Licciardo have a huge accident, which is what I'm sort of commenting on. We're going to just get a replay of this. We've seen this while we're off air. He's gone into the wall hard.
Oh!
And written that Commodore off, so that's an interesting
They
start
get
to
that
his
repaired.
qualifying session. As we see the
I'll
times
eat
now
my hat.
starting to come in this qualifying session. 11.6 for Dahlia immediately.
Yeah. Already a second. Over Brat.
Brunswick into third.
Tino into 4.
Stenny into fifth. Time slowly roll in.
Then Bud now pushes Stenny to 6. He goes to 5th.
Matt Cecil to 7th.
I had a quick chat to my old man Steve. He was chuffed with 5th place.
I'm sure
Said
he
he
would
didn't
be.
quite have the car pace, so he was happy to finish where he did.
He's had some disappointing rounds of recent, so he must have got a track violation on that lap. That hasn't been counted this time.
Yeah.
He's had some disappointing results in the recent, so we see
Here
some
another
goes into the,
oh.
Sid goes into the fence, so on the exit of turn 2. And disappointing results as of late, so he would be happy with that top 5, even to finish. I'm sure he'd be happy after some of his recent performances that have not gone to plan.
Well, yeah, at Sydney he was a standout, so
Yeah, it's been a bit of a downfall for him since then, so it's been a bit strange. Dalio's now done 11.4, so he's just gone out there and
catch me if you can.
he's put it on the table and he's just said, come on boys. Oh, he's very sideways there, and that's going to end in the fence. No, it did, but
Yeah. Just
could
great.
have been worse. And I've just noticed that P3, Hans Brunswick, he has done a purple first sector, so we're going to watch him and see
Here
how
we
he
go.
goes.
Oh, a bit shaky through the middle there.
Yeah, and he's
Not far off to the middle.
PB. Cuz in front of him is also probably looking to improve here. And no improvement from
Doesn't.
Hans.
What's going on in that last sector?
RSM Latino though has improved to an 11.8, so
Oh, that's better. It's more like him.
there's more like him. Okay. Being held up here by this other competitor in the Misfits racing car.
Now I've got someone in my comms. It looks like Thomas McMillan's here, so might have a chat to Thomas.
We might bring up Thomas and have a chat while this qualifying session's on.
G'day, Thomas.
Hi mate.
Hello.
Medical car driver, but unfortunately we don't have one here tonight for you to be able to steer. But
Yeah, sorry, mate. I crashed off the way to the track.
that's not surprising. So how are you tonight, mate?
I am good. I arrived a little bit late to the track due to my incident on the highway, so yeah, I'm ready to go and have a look how qualifying's going.
Having a look how qualifying's going. Well, qualifying's going quite well. I'm not sure if you managed to catch the last race, but we've already had one race that Benjamin Dahlia won, and it was hotly contested for P2 until an unfortunate incident for Steve Burko. And a couple of drivers did retire due to some interesting accidents.
I'm going to have to go look down the garages and see what spare parts are laying around, see what sort of damage happened to some of these cars.
It's our third week
Speaking
in a row
of that,
now. Yeah.
Dane Licciardo, I'd be surprised if his car makes it back out.
Well, after the big crash he's had in qualifying, he went straight into the wall, and he actually hasn't gone back out on the track, I don't think. He's only just gone back out on the track now you bring him up. So,
He must have got the clearance from Dr. Carl Lee. Because that would have been
that would have been like a 70 G
4,000.
impact.
I was going to say at least 4,000 Gs, but 70 Gs probably more realistic.
As he's gone to P8, they went into that wall at
Gone.
turn 2, flat out hard, without any braking. Oh, he's danced a bit under brakes there. So,
I'm pretty sure if you had a 4,000 G impact with something, your face would become the back of your head probably.
I reckon that's a fair possibility. This is actually a pretty good first sector here from Dane Licciardo. He's only 2 tenths down on the pole time of Benjamin Dahlia. So could be a significant improvement.
It seems
here.
everyone loses out in the final sector.
Yeah, it's really where Ben sort of shows his dominance. Well, there's a lot in the last sector as well of this track to be remembered. A number of tricky corners.
Thomas, got your car tuned up for tomorrow night, mate?
I do. Still some testing just before the Super 2 session started. So we've got it tuned up. And also, how good does the Peter Stenberg car look? The Hell V-Power car looks bloody good. Looks amazing.
That just confirms to me that you're cooked because I can't stand it. It gives me, yeah, I don't know what it gives me, but not good feelings.
Well, maybe he's gonna Scott McLaughlin will come out into the second race tonight. As he nearly crashes. Oh, and he's spun.
Well, let's hope Scott McLaughlin does something like that to spice up the championship next round.
Did he crash last race? What's the noise for me?
He had a reasonable result in P8, but I believe
There was a couple of bumps at the front of the car.
yeah, there was definitely some contact with other vehicles, so that definitely would have contributed to some damage bill that you will have to pay, Thomas.
Well, I'm not happy about that one, but life goes on.
We've got 5 minutes remaining in the session, so I'd say everyone be starting their final runs now.
Yeah, I'd assume so. Not too much time left as Dahlia's got his lights on, so we're going to have a bit of a look at him to see if he does improve. Oh, you're not going to improve like that. He's backed it into turn 2 and the headlights are off. Do we go around and have another crack? So we'll see what Latino is doing, I think.
On an outlap.
He's on an outlap, he's got blue flags. Hans is on a lap, but he's got traffic on this lap, so it'll be interesting to see how traffic's managed to get out of the way so far. That's
Yep, good job.
Good job by the traffic. And Hans is actually up by 2 tenths on the first sector of Dahlia. That is a very good first sector here. This could be his best time of the night. I think he did an 11.8 in the last session, so he's only slightly down on the second sector, so we'll need a good last sector to beat Benjamin, but he could put himself ahead of Latino on the front row.
That's a very impressive first sector, even with all that traffic. Oh no, he's sprayed the lap.
He has sprayed the lap, and he's run off at that corner there, and it's going to put paid to that, and that would have been a good lap. He did a 21.1 to the first sector. I don't think we've seen under a 21.3 in this session.
No, that's the fastest.
That is insanely fast. So he may have had a bit of a toe from other cars, but that's insanely fast. I'm going to watch Latino, who's on his final run.
Here's drama in the pit lane here, boys.
Yeah, what can you report, mate?
We're here. reporting that the brake package for this round, every team is having issues with overheating rear brakes. And that's why
Yeah.
everyone keeps spinning on the rear brakes. And the teams are not happy about it.
We did comment on that earlier, that there seems to be an issue with brake heating at this track. That brakes seem to fade very quickly.
As Hands is on a heater.
Is he? I will go and watch him.
Hans on the hoider.
Dahlia's now also done the purple middle sector, so
Got it turned in.
see if he does it.
Oh, he's around.
Oh, he's
Oh,
around.
it's so easy to do.
It's
Very
pretty easy to do.
That left rear gets very high in the temperatures.
So that could
Requires
be the
a
end
lot
of
of
his
shoulder
session.
control.
See, how's Burko getting? Burko's down in P5
P5.
and that's not been a good quality session for him so far. And he's actually on an outlap, so he's going to get one final run at this as Pratt is getting out of the way. So just looking down the field. Dane Macchiato's not had a good quality session either, and nor has Matt Cecil. So that's his Commodore's partner in pit lane. Lachlan Horan, once again, not having a great night. Lachlan Burke has managed to rejoin us.
Here's Ben. Will he improve?
That's the big question. I'd say he's fairly got pole fairly firmly in his grasp. It's just how much by at
Very
this
quick.
point. It's just super in that last sector, and that's where these guys are struggling to get
Won't be an
people in.
improvement. So this will be the lap now.
We'll keep an eye on
Last
everyone
shot.
else on the timing.
Yeah, Burko 1 second away in this qualifying.
He's really struggled, and I don't think Ben's going to improve with that first one.
No, not with that.
We'll see what the time is. We'll see how far down he is. These 2 tenths down. So I'm gonna have a look because RSM Latino is up. He has done a better first sector than what Hans Brunswick did in the earlier in this session. So he's done a 21-1, but he's lost it all on the in the middle sector. So probably a bad exit there.
That's a shame.
It is a shame, but I'd say it's related to a bad exit out of turn 3.
It looked like he didn't attack the curbs enough through turn 5 there as well. He's very wide and it sounded like he stabbed the throttle a couple of times. So he's just got to back the car off a bit. And just
Run
let
wide
it flow
there, and that's
through.
the end of that run. But we're going to see Hans Brunswick's on a lap, and he's caught traffic. It's unfortunate for him because Liam Budd is also on a lap. Oh! Which makes it even worse for him.
In the quality for both of them.
Burko's
He's
still on the lap.
Burko. He improved though. He's gone to P4.
He has gone to P4. He's jumped over Steve Warwick, but he's still 8 tenths away from Dahlia, which is not what we expect to see.
And by the looks of that, it doesn't look like he's going to improve on this lap.
It doesn't, but we'll keep an eye on him to see. He goes, he's not that far away of his own time, but so he's got a big ask to try and get over Brunswick. And looking at what has happened, it is RSM Latino who has put himself on the front row of the grid, and he had an impressive start last time, so he could take it to Dahlia in this race. He may not have the pace, but if he can get in front, I feel like this race is on.
Or lock up. Yep, this won't do it.
He has improved, but it's not enough to displace.
Look at that.
Yeah.
200s to Hans.
So that is a qualifying session run and 1. So is anyone else still on a lap out there? We'll just see if Pratt is on a lap that's not competitive. And he looks to be the only one, so I guess we're going to be watching him. As the session has just ticked over. So, interesting session as per always. I'm really interested to see RSM Latino on the front row of this race. I feel like he's good at his starts. He can potentially, if he can get in the lead here, We know Benjamin isn't always the best when he's like. It's harder for him to be dominant when he isn't
Has a bit of
leading
pressure.
and has a bit of pressure. So he was let off the hook last race with the way in which Burko and Latino had a fight. If he's under pressure, this could be a good race for the win. Plus, I feel like Hans is going to play himself into this one as long as he doesn't make a error at the start.
So a quick 3-minute warm-up session has just begun.
Why isn't Thomas the safety car driver? Because, I mean, the safety car driver has to be safe, but clearly Thomas McMillan is not safe.
Well, yeah, I unfortunately crashed the car on the way, so...
Yeah, we'll leave the safety car where it is.
We will have
Talking
you,
about who's going to
hopefully-
win this race,
Yeah?
I've got my pick. I reckon Hans Brunswick as a dark horse here.
You do?
Well, looking at Benjamin's practice start there, you could be right.
Hans also got a very good start in the last race, but I feel like he did something weird on the approach to turn 2 because he lost a lot of positions. He was up battling with Cuz, trying to get past Dahlia, and then he
Dropped to like
dropped
5th
to
or
like
6th
5th or
position.
6th, which really affected his race. So could potentially be on here. I mean, it's good to see a commentator out there on the racetrack, and he's putting in a good result tonight.
I'm sure he would have been commentating under his helmet when he was approaching Burko spun out.
Watching his broadcast, I imagine he would have been, but I'm not sure.
Minute 30 left in this session. Minute 25.
So Thomas, we'll hopefully have you in the medical car next week, and I think we need the medical car out there after some of the crashes we've seen tonight with Matt Cecil going to the wall hard and Dan Licciardo. It would be invaluable to have you there to help these guys get back to the medical centre, which is a place that you're pretty familiar with at Mount Panorama.
Oh, sure. It's a great place, that one. It's, they look after you very well there. And I'm sure I'll look after you well in the medical car.
Mate, if I had the choice of getting in with you in the medical car or jumping in the tow truck, I know who I'll be choosing.
Mate, you could be half dead and I'll be doing burnouts in the medical car.
And that was a good start there by Hans as a practice start, so maybe he's off P3, so he's off the inside line on the second row, so he's actually a pretty good chance here to get a good start.
12-leg multi going here, all on hands here. Let's go.
I don't think that's how a 12-leg multi works, and I don't think there's betting available on this. If there is, I'm sure we're violating some portion of Australian gambling law.
If there is, I'd be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, well,
money-wise.
I wouldn't bet because I'm not a gambling man, and to be honest, everything I seem to say, the opposite seems to happen at times.
Gamblers help guys, remember 1-800-858-858.
Thanks for that, Thomas.
Thanks for that slight little bit of information.
Helpful as usual. As we see Braff now losing a bonnet. Does he have many spares left, Thomas?
He does.
He's been on his roof like earlier this race, but he managed to finish. So safety and rescue crew pushed him back onto his wheels. The automatic ones in game.
Driver.
Factory Holden driver. Yeah,
Luke
well, they want to have a
Rosella
big
said,
factory.
Luke Rosella has said in the broadcast chat to put the power play on, Thomas. On your bed.
Power play on. I've
Yeah.
always got the power play on, mate. Gonna come out the end of this race with 10 grand, I reckon.
It's a confident...
somehow with a $1.90 bet.
can happen, but it'd have to be a huge multi.
I don't even think you can bet $1.90. You would need to have at least $5. But
And
anyway,
I think you'd need someone with a high odds, like your driver himself, Boyder.
well, maybe if he doesn't break at turn 1 and gets away with it, you know.
Speaking of breaking at turn 1, geez.
It's not out of the question with the braking issues that have been happening throughout the session.
So I must admit, I'm excited for this race. Anything can happen off this start, and I'm being biased, but I'm rooting for Latino to get a good start here. I really want this to spice up. Nothing against Benjamin McLaughlin, but I like to see different winners in this series, and I'm hoping that Benjamin needs to keep winning though to get back in this championship. And I feel like after tonight, he's got a very good chance of actually leading this championship. So
points gap will probably be down to like 40 something now, below 40 range. It was 55 to RSM Latino, so be close. All he needs to keep doing is winning.
Well,
and
winning
the final round
the best way to win a championship.
Final round at Bathurst, which we can confirm will be the final round.
Yep, so we've only got 4 more rounds of this championship left now. We can finally actually confirm. We've got another round here at Townsville, 2 at the Bend, and one final one at Bathurst. So that will be the wrap of this championship. So that's confirmed, official, live here on tonight. So, and I can confirm that there will be a Bathurst 1000 for main series as well. But we already knew that, but that will be the final round of the main championship. So, who wants to do the pleasure of going through the grid?
I believe I can, if you like. On pole, we have Benjamin Dahlia, as usual, common side. Second, we have Cuz, RSM Latina, championship leader, the orange number. Third place, Hans Brunswick. Fourth place, Steve Burko. In 5th place, my father, Steve Warwick. 6th place is Brat. 7th place is Liam Budd. 8th place is his teammate, Dane Ligiardo. 9th place, Matt Cecil. 10th place is Lachlan Horan. 11th place is Peter Stenberg. 12th place, Mad Rabbit. That's a solid effort there. First night race. 13th place, McLean Bite. 14th, Dodger. 15th, Sid Goose. And in 16th place is Lachlan Burke.
He's actually managed to join us this race, so this will be his debut run. Didn't manage to set a qualifying.
So who's your tip, boys? Kurt?
Well, it's hard to go past Ben, but I want to see Cuz challenge him this time.
And we know Thomas has got all of his $1.90 on Hans Brunswick. Myself, I'm going to go with Cuz.
So we've picked 3 different cars, and I was actually wrong. It's the odd numbers that are on the inside to turn 1, so I've had a brain fade here. What I've learned is I want to qualify second tomorrow night.
You can qualify 22nd if you want.
Can I? And the lights come on.
Green flag.
We're away, and
Oh, it's actually Cuz. That's
yeah, Cuz hasn't had a great start here. It's been the second round
Burko's
once
had a good
again
start.
that's got a good start. Brack has had an amazing start there. So he's now up into P4, potentially 3rd. As we see the car stream into turn 1, Brack is going to challenge up into the spots here. So Dudley has run wide and it's put Latino up here. And now Burko's into this. So Burko's now managed to get up into P2. And it all goes on here. And Brack is in P4 of this race at the minute. So he's had an absolutely incredible start. Oh, and that's a big moment
Burko
there from Burko.
Brat looks to the inside.
Latino's
Oh
round.
no,
But he's into
Latino!
That's a big mistake
Great
for
save.
Latino. Good save, but
Great
big
save.
mistake. And he's now going to be vulnerable here to Warwick and Cecil. Hopefully he can stay in front. But not a good start here for Latino.
Not a great start for Steve Warwick either, he's down in P7.
And we've seen Peter Stenberg in the background just supporting him.
Oh.
So it's not going to go
Oh.
slow with him. And he's under attack from that Lachlan Burke. So
Townsville lead here, boys.
top of the lead, is it? We're back up there. Yeah, it is. It's Burko and
Burko's down the inside. He's gonna get it done.
So it's surprising. And Hans is also fighting off Brap. Brap's had an impressive run in this the start of this race so far. I'm surprised at and Hans is actually it's the timing screen's had a fit rather.
Safety car.
Safety car.
car.
Had a safety car.
I wonder what the safety car's for. I think we found out why.
I'm gonna go back and have a look. Yes, we've had a safety car. It was for Mad Rabbit. Gonna see what's happened here.
Looks like brain failure.
Because he's had a oh, he's hit steady.
Oh,
Massively
I'm
hard.
not happy about that.
Yeah,
And
that's. I think I was right.
That's pretty bad. And then Mad Rabbit has stopped the car, I assume. And he's been able to refight.
Where did that sound come from?
I don't know. That was it Peter Stenberg? I don't know what's happened here.
It's Peter Stenberg shouting by the sounds of it.
That was a big shunt noise that I heard.
It was.
Blowing up on my radio here, Kurt.
So this has been a really timely pass from Steve Burko, who's managed to get the lead of the race right as the safety cars come out. So this has been excellent for him. As Sid Goose has received a drive-through penalty, I'm assuming that will be for speeding in the pit lane. It is, as he has crashed into the pit lane entry.
Oh, all you can do is laugh.
As we get a replay.
It's a bit similar to what Corey Preston did last year.
This
It
is
is.
similar to what Corey Preston did here last year in main series, and I shouldn't laugh at Sid Goose there, but that's a pretty entertaining accident.
It's laughable. I mean, when it's sim racing, it's laughable. We try and regather our laughter here.
It's been a bit much. So this has been opportunistic for Hans and for Burko, and it's also been helpful for Latino, who's now not going to have this gap. Hoping that we don't have any problems with this safety car on the restart here, with any penalties or whatnot.
Hopefully all the drivers do the right thing. But yeah, that was interesting. Must be having some troubles with the brakes.
I
Rear
imagine
brake
that he's
failure.
having trouble with some brakes, because that was 2 incidents under braking there for Zizka.
A lot of damage here for the Sid Goose car.
There will be, and he has
Massive
gone
front
down
end
a lap.
damage.
He has gone down a lap, but he has actually remained out there on the circuit as Mad Rabbit's come in to fix repairs from that incident as well.
Yeah. Can you get in there, Thomas, and have a look at what damage is actually done with that car and actually check if there's rear brakes on it?
It seems to be the rear brakes have exploded on the Sid Goose car. Oh, he's coming back out of the pits with no rear brakes.
He also still had those
Well-
drive-through penalties served, so this is going to be not a good race for him.
Oh, look at the front end of that. It's got no bonnet. That's
Yeah.
dangerous there, Kurt and Cole. It's,
Fairly
can't
significantly
be good.
damaged that car.
Oh, he's in the fence.
Is he really?
So this is a replay of him coming out of the pits on cold brakes with no rears apparently.
And he's definitely
Yeah, in
struggling
the
for
fence.
brakes because he's in the fence immediately, so...
Well, my first thought here, guys, is that the brake ducting might be on 1.
Potentially. It's been a bit of a lull in the race, but hopefully we'll get back to green running in a second. I think my safety car has actually pulled in, so we'll be looking to resume racing.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Oh, and there's been a bit of an incident in the background. Guys are not. I was just trying to jump start again, which we know happened at Eastern Creek. Yeah, and the safety car hasn't actually gone green for some reason. So this is causing mayhem, as we haven't had a green call yet. So I am a bit perplexed as to what is going on here.
Maybe just write in the chat that still safety car conditions.
Server has said
Hold
cannot
the
wave
position.
green yet, so
Wait, go green next lap.
Well, the safety car's definitely in the lane.
Could have gone invisible.
I saw it pull in the lane.
yeah, the safety car has decided that it can't wave the green flag yet for some reason, so I'm unsure as to why, but that's what has come up in the server chat, so I don't know why the safety car is...
Okay, well, bit of a communication error there between us and the safety car, but
I don't know why the safety car has gone into the lane, but it's, the server has clearly not made the race green yet, so...
see what happens on this lap here. Here we go green.
Hopefully we go green here at
No
the line.
issue.
With no issues. It's a bit disappointing, but...
Okay, so here we go.
We're back under green.
See what happens here.
A bit confusing as to why this has occurred, but hopefully it rectified itself. Safety car in this game can be quite finicky at times.
Green flag.
Here we go, we've had a green
Yeah.
flag.
Oh. Oh. That's a big dive.
There's a big dive there from Benson.
Dane Licciardo had a massive dive on, I think it was Brap. Yeah, it was Brap, and he got the move done.
Sorry, I'm just dealing with some adminning issues in the background.
So Burko's still in the lead here. Ben in second place. Oh, as he gets the car loose again. That car is still loose.
The car is
What are we
very
doing
low.
there?
Any reports from pit lane, Thomas?
Just a lot of teams complaining about the
Oh,
braking.
there's
Oh, there's been an
revive.
incident here in the background between Brap and Dane Licciardo and Steve Warwick, and this is
Oh,
on here.
Steve.
Steve's down the inside. It's been pretty forceful with that.
Aggressive. He's got it. Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
they're bumping in a straight line.
Bumping.
These guys are not happy with one another quite clearly. This is some aggressive racing. Dane Licciardo has broken very late on the brakes, but he's going to go off, and so Steve. This is going to allow Brap and Latino up,
Oh,
and then
massive
Mestizo into the
break.
vent hard in the background.
That was a very aggressive exchange from the two drivers here.
These are going to continue to watch it, even though there is about to be a battle on for the front of this race.
Oh, Steve looks on the outside of Brad. He can hold it here. He can
Oh.
possibly have the inside.
He's
He
got it
does.
done, and then the two teammates
Well
are
done.
battling here in the background as well as Lachlanberg.
Lachlan Burke charging through the field. That's a solid effort.
It's a solid effort for his first time out here, and he's the teammates have made contact, and so is Lachlan, and this is awkward of 3 into 1. This just doesn't go. That
was a big snap.
It was a big snap there. So seem to have calmed each other down, and we've had Hans Brunswick do the fastest lap of the race. So these guys in front are clearly holding each other up. I'm going to move back towards here because we've got 3 cars all very, very close to one another. This is the race for the lead, and it's Burko currently leading from Dahlia with Brunswick in a hot pursuit of the 2 of them.
Yeah, these guys have been solid. Burko's just got to try and keep the car in the right position where Ben can't use his advantage.
Big crash, Matt Cecil. He's blocking pit lane, actually.
We will go back to this, so we will catch this. Yeah, that is. We'll see if we can get a replay of this. But yes, I agree. If Burko can stay out front here and defend, he's got a good chance of taking this race.
So Matt's already had some prior damage. He's done the same thing.
It's not been a good night for Matt Cecil, it seems.
Cut the grass and then just go off.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to touch the grass there on the pit lane entry, it seems. As we see, Dahlia's now done the fastest lap of the race.
12-1, that's quick. That's just as quick as last race.
He's now going to be all over Burko down here into turn 1.
Here comes the move.
And we've had a drive through for Matt Cecil. That will be for speeding on entry there. So can Burko hold this back? He should be able... he's picked that wall.
He's tagged the wall.
He's got a chance to crisscross here. Done. He stays here. No, he's run very wide, and I think that move's done, but now Brunswick wants to have a look at him.
It's great racing.
It's great racing. I still don't think this is over yet.
It takes one little mistake, and that's it. You're gone.
That's exactly correct.
Speaking of mistake, that's huge.
That's a huge accident from Hans Brunswick. We're going to get a replay of that. That'll be race done for him. That is a monumental crash. I don't even understand how that's occurred.
That's ripped the front end of the car. I reckon he's clipped the inside wall and it's fired him into the fence.
He has clipped the inside wall. He's got loose, clipped the inside wall, and he's been fired into the fence. And that's with some significant speed, so...
It's a sickening crash here, guys.
That is a sickening crash. He is trying to pull the car into pit lane, and we'll see if he does take
the lead. The leaders crash.
What? Oh, they have!
What's happened there?
So we're gonna get a replay of this, so... Add more should go on. So Burko has...
He's had a move.
That was a move from Burko, eh?
Yeah, because Dahlia locked it up.
So Burko has gone down the inside here.
Yep. So the move's been done. He slid it in there. They're both sliding, protecting.
What's happened down here into turn 2?
Let's have a look. So these are the 2 guys that need to take advantage of Cuz's misfortunes.
And he's just run into the back of him.
Wow. That's huge.
It is huge. So we are going to go into live pictures now, and Dahlia has actually redressed that position, so that is really good of him. But they've now brought Cuz, who's had a terrible start, and now brought him back into contention. So this race is going off stairs. This race is a lot more exciting than the last one. It's a pretty big crash for Hans, and he's now DNF from the race, but it's on here into turn 1 again. So we've got Dahlia who's trying to go around the outside of Burko. And that car is still so loose of Burko's, and they've made contact.
Mate, that car is terrible to drive.
That car does not look handsome to drive, and that's a lead loss there for Steve Burko. Did do a bit of Verstappen with that move, did Burko, I feel. He's still with him, but the car's really loose, and Latino has now really capitalised here and caught back up to these guys. I've noticed Lachlan Horan is also now DNF from the race, so been an unfortunate night for him as well. So I see there was a yellow flag in the final sector.
That's where
Steve Warwick's
Oh,
got to go around it. Sid Goose is falling over to let people go, it appears. Is that in these guys? He is a long way off the race now. I'm going to look further back, do a bit of a stock take. So we've got Liam Budd in fourth. We've got Brad in fifth, and he's under attack here from Lachlan Burke, who's just put himself in the fence as we go push to him. So put the locker on him, and that's going to move Dan Licciardo up. And he's now going to be under attack from Steady.
Who gets past?
And from the claim by here into turn 1. So we'll just keep an eye on this for now. Expect Lachlan Burke to charge back through the field. So claim bite's in 9th. Mad Rabbit's in 10th, so that's good that he's got out on the track and he got a getting a race under his belt here. Dodger is in 11th. Something's happened to Steve Warwick because he's dropped down to 12th. And he's coming into the pits. And we've got Haran, Cecil, Brunswick, and Sid Goose is very, very wounded. Got a race on now for P2 though between Burko and Latino, and Latino is up the inside. This has been an incredible recovery drive from Latino. Considering he was mixed up in all that battling for the mid-pack earlier, and he's up here now for the battle for the lead with all these dramas that have happened.
Well, this is all championship stuff here now for these three.
Really, Burko stayed on the brake, and he's got loose again, and that's just hand position too well.
Yeah, those rear tyres would be very cool.
Burko's really struggling for traction, especially as the race goes on. Got a very loose car around this track, and I don't think it's paying dividends.
No, not at all.
Lachlan Burke has got that position back on steady. So this race has definitely been a lot more lively than the last one. We're still not over here for P2, may I add.
No, it's not. He's brought the car back, but it seems that, yeah, look, there it is again, loose. Any long loaded corner on those rear tyres, it's almost spinning.
Whenever he tries to pick up the throttle to try and attack, he's just, the car's just loose and just doesn't have the drive.
Nonetheless, it's been a good race, lots of action, safety car drama. I mean, what more do you want from entertainment purposes?
Yeah, well, it's been very entertaining.
4,000 G impact crashes.
We're going to end up with Dahlia winning again, but it doesn't matter because it's been an entertainment battle, and all credit to Benjamin because he
had to fight for it this one.
He did have to fight for it this one, and he's done a good job to fight for it. And he redressed when he messed up under brakes. He's respected that that was his fault.
Well, with only 2 laps remaining, he's definitely got it in the bag.
Without any
Well, actually,
other
we can't actually say that because with this race, anything could happen.
Agreed, and I wouldn't be calling anything early, to be honest.
The magical fairy could come down and pop his tyres, but
Wouldn't be
we'll see what happens.
first time that's happened.
No, happened to me at Darwin.
Very.
These guys are now going to have to deal with that Dodger, who is in 11th, having his own little race here. Oh, and he does a good job to get out of the way, but nearly puts himself in the fence. Well, he does put himself in the fence, but nearly hard. Oh, and Latino's late on the brakes here. I'm going to be a Burko's going to be on this.
No.
Oh, and he just doesn't. just has nothing when he gets on the throttle, does Burko. He made contact there and it was a bit awkward, but he just does not have anything on throttle.
The car's fast. It just
Very good under
gets
brakes
solid.
and mid-corner rotation. He just does not have the drive.
Anyway, last lap. See how they go.
And we've got a yellow.
The yellow flag. That's a big lock-up mark.
So it is Sid Goose again, who had an absolute shocking race. 5 laps down, I can't really say too many more words about the night that which he has had. It's not going to plan.
Yeah, that car will be wounded for next week. Well, I don't know if you could call it a car with the crash that he's had.
So we're going to keep watching this for P2. This is the final lap, we may add. So Dali has definitely got this one in the bag now.
Wonder if he crashes the car a few more times. Fracturators might see it as a white cube again.
Well, that's potential because it looks like it's been crushed into a cube. You have 30 minutes to move your cube.
Exactly.
And we're going to watch as Benjamin Dahlia comes across the line to win second race here at Townsville
Well done.
tonight. And Latino with another P2 and Burko with another P3. With Liam Budd an impressive fourth. That's been a good drive from him.
Yep, just drove the car and got it up there,
So he's
stayed out of trouble.
Up 3 spots from his starting position. With Brapp in 5th, that's been a good return to this series for him. After he returned in Darwin, but he struggled a bit, so he's bounced back with Nathan Ficciato in 6th. Lachlan Burke has come up 9 spots in this race. He's going to get 7th, so that's a good debut run for him. Steady's going to come home in 8th, holding off the train here with a Claim Bite and Mad Rabbit. With Dodger 1 lap down, Steve Warwick 1 lap down as well in 12th. Sid Goose comes home 5 laps down in 13th place with Lachlan Horan, Matt Cecil and Hans Brunswick, our retirees with Hans with that monumental crash. I haven't really seen anything like it this track before.
Hope Hans is okay.
I hope Hans is okay as well. That was a big impact. Burko's lighting up the rears.
Not that there'd be much left.
No, not after how sideways he's been during this event.
Yes, congrats again to Ben. Dominant. That should bring the gap down to high 30s, I'm guessing.
Well, Latino's done a good job tonight as well, we might add, to limit the damage. He's come second, and if you can't win, you've got to come second, and that's what he's been able to do. And he's been able to beat Burko, which is something that he hasn't been able to do in recent rounds. So, other than at Darwin, but I mean before that, he was struggling to beat those two. So he's going to extend the gap to Burko, but the gap to Dahlia is going to decrease. So it's going to be on between these guys all at the front, and it's going to really come down to these next 3 rounds to decide what happens before we get to the championship decider at Bathurst. So I'm going to imagine that some of these guys are going to join us very shortly. I see that Steve Burko is in the waiting room. So we'll just see if anyone else does join us. Just going to deal with something. So we'll get some of these guys in for a chat. So I'll grab Burko up first. He's the first one in here. Hi Steve, mate. 2 third places tonight. Bit of an interesting evening with race 1. You had a bit of a spin and the incident with Hans Brunswick, and then race 2, you got to the lead under that, just before that safety car came out, had the lead pretty strongly with a battle with Dahlia, which ended in tears, and then lost the lead. But you seem to be struggling with a lot of oversteer out there tonight. Tell us about how you felt.
Well,
Basically, the first race I stuffed myself up, so that was all on me. Second race, the car seemed to handle alright. It had a little bit of oversteer, but it was handling fine. But after I got damage on both races, there was no way I was going to be able to hold it through corners and stuff like that without the rears kicking out. And yeah, it just happens, but that's racing.
Yeah, that's racing, mate. Disappointing night for you there, but you still managed to get away with third in both the races, so it's not all bad. But yeah, you definitely we could definitely tell your car you were struggling there towards the later stages of those races.
Yeah, it's just it'll just boil down to what could have been at the moment. But we'll try and work on the tune for next week and see if we can get a more stable car. I mean, as I said, it was pretty fine through the racing and through the early on race part of the race, but yeah, it is what it is.
That's it, mate. You were definitely strong though. You definitely you put on a challenge there for the race win there, and you were very lucky to get that into that lead position before that safety car. So there's signs there that you could potentially go well when we get back here next week.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. I didn't mind the battles today though; they were actually really good. Yeah, just as I said, the first mistake was all on my own. Did not just no control out of the corner, and yeah, kind of ruined it.
Yeah, you definitely did. We were commenting on your car being quite sideways, and then it just snapped on you. And yeah, unfortunately, Hans was sort of really left with nowhere to go. So it's just an unfortunate racing incident that happens. But I'm sure you'll bounce back, and we'll see you here next week. See if you can improve those 2/3.
Thanks very much for that.
Thanks, mate.
I'm gonna grab our dual race winner now, and we'll talk to you Ben. Dominant night again. Pole and well, 2 poles, 2 race wins. Had to work for it in that last one, but
Yeah, really good around here this week. Hopefully it's the same for next week. But I just want to straight away say I'm so sorry to Steve Burko for that incident on the second race. The gap kind of closed while I was kind of in there already late on the brakes, and there was not much I could do to avoid. So I let him get that position back. I think it was definitely on me. But yeah, good weekend other than that.
yeah, mate. We actually missed it live, and we had to go back for a replay because we were watching a big crash that had happened behind you guys. But yeah, good weekend. You good on you for redressing. It's good to see the sportsmanship of yourself, recognizing that you made the error, and then powering forward and managing to get back the lead and closing that championship gap.
Yeah, that's the plan. Been slowly reeling in that gap, and just had to put another good couple of races together tonight, and I've done that. And looking forward to the next one.
I'm sure you would be, mate, with the pace that you had, and we wish you luck when we get there, because it looks like you're going to be the one to beat once again.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers, mate.
And I'll drag up Cuz. Latino, mate. Interesting evening for yourself. Good start in race 1, and through that race, you managed to get P2 out of that one, and then bad start in race 2, a bit of drama there, but managed to claw it back to P2, so good recovery drive.
Oh, it was an awesome race tonight, but yeah, I just did a small mistake on this second race where just spun the car a little bit and managed to bring it back again, but that put me back into, I think, about 6th or 5th around there, and it was a bit hard to bring back again the car. And yeah, on the first race, I was having an awesome race with Steve, and I did fry the tires a little bit on the first race, so I couldn't keep up to Ben, but I wanted to give the fight out to Ben tonight, and yeah, I wish I would have been a little bit closer when Steve and Ben came together, but yeah, it was a good race overall, bro.
Yeah, no, it was good stuff. You definitely benefited when those two came together, but unfortunately you're a bit far back from that spin. But you did well to get back past those guys and even be in that fight to be able to get back the pass on Steve. But yeah, I was pumping up your tyres. I said that after you start in race 1, I was sort of hoping that you'd be able to get past Ben there off the start and sort of challenge him a bit. So I felt like you had the pace to be able to do so, but unfortunately it didn't really come off. But you've got a second go at this track to be able to do that next time.
Yeah, I did on the second race. I did make a little change on the tire pressure, and actually I did a change on the anti-roll bar a little bit, and the car seemed to respond a little bit better. But with that little mistake that I did in on the second race, it put me back too much, and it was a good race, man. It was just I appreciate the effort that all of the other guys have put in, and it's just an awesome race, man. And I'm pretty sure this championship is going to come down to the wire, man. So I'm hoping to get a better run next week. So hopefully I can change up the car a little bit and make it more steady, and hopefully come back next week, man.
Yeah, mate, I'm pretty sure it's going to come down to the wire as well between you three, and we started running out of rounds now to go, and we're going to head for a big finale at the mountain. We now know, so it's gonna be all on when we get there. But all you can do is keep trying to finish, and if I said just before, if you can't win, you've got to try and finish as high as possible, and second's the best result. So well done on the 2 seconds tonight.
Yeah, well done, mate.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, it just I did a couple of little tweaks here and there, and I just wish I would have done it on the first race because the car responded a little bit better. But like I said, hopefully on the next week I'll be able to come back to the guys. Dahlia was very fast as well too. Yeah, but I just gotta put it up to him, man. Hopefully I can catch up to him next week, man.
Hopefully you can put it up to him, mate. We reckon you can. So good luck, and good luck with any changes and tunes you make during the week to be able to do that.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, and also the rig, bro. It's just a different thing from being from being a rig that flexes and bends, and to a stiff rig. It's just been so different, bro. And all the setups that I had from previous Townsville, man, it doesn't work at all, man. So I had to remake a new setup, and hopefully I can come back stronger next week, man. So, and I really appreciate it, man. Thanks to again to RSM and to you guys, Cole and Kurt, mate. Thank you very much, Thomas. I really appreciate it as well too, man.
No worries, thank you, mate.
No worries. Thanks for coming, mate. If we couldn't do it, all our hard work wouldn't matter if no one turned up. So that's what we're here for.
Yeah, hopefully the races keep coming until next year, man. Hopefully they can come back next year, man. Because hopefully I can make it to the big leagues, bro.
Well, I think you're doing a pretty good job of that. I think you're 8th in the main championship at the minute, so
yeah,
definitely doing a good job.
The other thing as well too, man. I gotta put it up. The two guys do have a bit of an age difference between myself, and it's a bit of it's for the old man is here, man, to kick up to those fast guys, man. But yeah.
Well, you're doing a good job keeping up with the fast guys, mate. So well done, and best of luck next time out.
Really appreciate it, guys, man. Thank you so much, guys. It's been fun tonight, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks, mate.
Good, mate.
Cheers.
So that's a wrap from Townsville. We'll be back here next week. Closing thoughts.
Good round. That second race was exactly what we need in entertainment side, and hopefully more of that next week. But tune in tomorrow night, everyone, for the main series. Myself, Kurt, and Tom will be racing.
Yep, and
along with a few of these guys and a few new guys as well to come and have a go. So good to see how they square up against the likes of Dane Warren and stuff. So
I will put it out there now. I'm assuming they're coming, but we believe that Jared Filsell and Forzan Onabi for United Esports are coming tomorrow night. I think it's United Sim Sport. Sorry, is the name of the team coming tomorrow night to play here at Townsville. So they should be very interesting to see how those two guys, very well known in iRacing, take it to the likes of Dane Warren and Ethan Warren, and myself and others. So it's going to be a cracking night of racing. got 3 19 lappers, and we've got Stairs, and I believe I'm not sure if Madbird's back yet, but the professionals will be back in the booth, and the racing after last week and after tonight, hopefully it's absolutely awesome. So that's been a good night of racing. I've been Kurt Stenberg, Colin Warwick's been Colin Warwick, and Thomas McMillan's been Thomas McMillan. Thank you for watching, and good night.